Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of Meat and Fire. I know Thanksgiving is coming up. I know a lot of you might be wanting to smoke a turkey. Today we're going to go over an easy way to smoke turkey. We're going to do a spatchcock turkey. If you want to know the process for the spatchcocking, I can do that in a separate video. Just let me know. We're going to be laying down a lemon butter garlic seasoning today and then doing some injections. And so let's get started. So there's always this question: do I brine my turkey if I'm smoking it? Do I not brine my turkey? We had a Jenny O's turkey on there. It said it was sitting in a solution of 9.5% turkey broth and sodium and other stuff. So like basically the turkey was brining in the bag. So I'm not doing another brine. But what I am going to do is an injection. So what I have going here is I'm melting down some Irish cream butter with a combination of a little bit of turkey broth and some garlic powder. I did have some nicer stuff that my wife had, so I put the fancy stuff in there. Once this melts down, I'm going to show you where we put the injections in. We'll put the injections. We'll use the little bit left over that comes out to help our seasoning stick, and then we'll get this bird on the fire. One thing I forgot to add to my mix, and you want to be very careful with this. You don't want to overdo it. A little bit of onion powder, just enough to add some flavor. It says like a quarter cup. I don't even know if I'm going to go quite that ham. I'm just going to kind of cover the top and then mix it in. So a couple of key areas where we're going to put some injections in here. They'll be right here where the leg attaches. You can see it fill up nice and good in there. Pull it out. Do the same thing on this side. And my syringe can be a bit frustrating because it's got two different holes. And so if I don't cover both and don't pull perfectly, it has a hard time pulling it in. Right here into this leg. Make sure you get in there. There we go. This all this is going to do is help add more moisture overall to the cook. So now we're going to get in the breast. I'm going to start in this top piece here. Boom. I'm getting right in here, top angle. We're going to fill up this upper part of the breast here. Mine's leaking just a bit. And then we're going to do two more in the fatter part of the breast. And then get right off in here into this little heavier piece. And just, again, getting right in underneath there. Again, I'm going to fill up this middle part of the breast here. Kind of inject as we pull. Just a little squirt here on the outside. And all I'm doing that for is just to give me something to make my seasoning stick. Now I am going to turn this turkey over. And one thing we're going to do is you make sure you season the inside of the bird well. I'm going to take this glove off so I don't get salmonella on my seasonings. And then we're just going to lay it down nice and heavy. I don't know about you, but I don't like no unseasoned anything, to be completely honest. We're going to open up the inside where I pulled the spine out. We're going to make sure we lay down some seasonings on the inside of here so that we get flavor all the way into that turkey, all the way through. And then we're going to take him or her, flip it over, and then we're going to lay it on real heavy here. Make sure there's seasoning on those wings. You never want to make anything for your wife, fellas, that, you know, she's the star of your barbecue. Everybody else can like it, but if she don't, give up. This is a start the process bed, is all this is here. And then I just take a torch lighter, hit this match light right quick, and it lights up no problem at all. So we got our coals burned down. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you maybe kind of gotten familiar with my fire management processes. If it's your first time visiting the channel, I'm going to kind of give you a couple of tips here. So once you get your initial coal bed burned down, now I did put some barkier pieces back here, and the reason I did that is when my initial coal bed burns down, I actually want those to add more coal for me because it's going to be a little bit of a longer cook. We're doing a whole turkey. So I'm going to start kind of a bundle fire first, just a tight smoky fire, create my good coal bed, and get my pit up to temp. But as you see, I got my 3 logs tightly laid over the top of my coals so that they're going to catch pretty quick. And then we're going to basically close this down and start getting our temperature under control before we get ready to put meat on here. Do not cook when your smoke looks like this. This is the combustion phase for the wood. So I'm going to show you because you can see it's lighting. I've got a cap on there with a little bit of bark just so that I can get a little bit more of a coal bed going. But all that right now, it's still in the combustion part of this process. You're going to get a lot of things that will not make your food taste good. So I do not recommend, if your smoke looks like this, and if you've watched my channel before, you've heard me go over this, do not, I repeat, do not put food in there when your smoke looks like this. All right, here we go. Time for the bird to taste its first smoke. So, all right, so today we're gonna be cooking between 250, 275. I got my pit at about 300 right now. When I open it up here, we're gonna lose some heat. We're gonna go ahead and get this big old bird on here. We are gonna go breast side towards the fire, leg side towards the stack, because I do tend to get more heat later in the cook towards the stack. I am going to pull this bird a little bit closer together so that it's getting smoked pretty evenly. And I got it nice and tucked on the spot. I do have a little water tray here just to make sure that I can manage the moisture level as we cook. And now we're going to close it down and let it ride. All right, so we're about an hour in. We got a nice smoke rolling, starting to get a good color on our bird. We're going to come out here and kind of put some of this butter solution on the outside, keep everything moist. Here after a while, we may come out and turn this bird around. Want to be careful not to mess up my seasonings because they're starting to set good. So we are right at about the 2-hour point. I got a couple of splints warming. Our temperature's starting to go down. As you can see, we are running out of flame here. So it's right about the right time to get our fire re-going. Also, I like to open up the smoker when I'm lighting new splints and getting a coal bed reestablished, because there's going to be a combustion phase, as I mentioned earlier. And so while that gets combusted, I'll go ahead and take care of my bird real quick. So we're starting to get real good deep color. Probably a good time to put more butter on here for sure. We're going to baste this real good since we're going fireside right here. These wings are starting to get pretty crispy. Just hitting right about 136. Leg side here. This is what we're hoping for because these are closer to the stack side. These are going to be a little bit more. So one decision I'm going to make here based on where we're at in the cook is I've had fireside most of this cook with the breast of the bird. And so I'm going to flip it just because the breast is taking the brunt of most of my heat spike. So I don't want it to dry out by the end of my cook. This part, the dark meat, can take a little bit of extra heat. So it's okay for us to go ahead and let it get hit a little bit more. So for the remainder of the cook, we're just going to let it ride in the opposite direction. All right, so we are just at about 3.5 hours. This bird is nice and beautiful brown. We're going to see if we are ready to come off the grill. We want to be right about 175 in here. Not quite there yet. And the breast, we want to be right about 165. So just about 5 degrees short. So we will continue to let it ride, and we will come back and check in here in about 10-15 minutes. So over the course of a longer cook, you wind up with a real nice coal bed like this. So I'm maintaining about 250 degrees, about 3.5 hours into my cook, just based on this coal bed. If I was cooking a brisket or something, obviously I'd want to still be getting smoked flavor, so I'd close my stack down a little bit. And then I just add a splint here and there. That bad boy on that nice hot bed of coals will light up in about 30-40 seconds. Give me enough heat just to ride out the rest of this cook. All right, so from the last time we checked in, we let the turkey ride just a little bit longer. We've had a loose tent on our bird here. We pulled it right at just shy of 165 so that it could have some carryover cook on the breast. Baby, I want your advice. Should I cut the legs off and then cut the breast? We're going to go right into the breast here. I cut right in the middle. I am not the best turkey carver, so if anybody wants to judge me here, feel free. But I'm the cook. I'm getting better at the rest of this stuff. I'm going to cut right in here. Try to take this whole breast in one piece. Take it all the way down. Pull this chunk out. Big, pretty, juicy, full turkey breast. But what it all really comes down to is taste is king. My wife does not want to be on camera, but I do want to hear her reaction to this bird. Come here, love. We got the wife's taste test. We're going to get my oldest son and also my usual cameraman and see what he thinks. He kind of helped with the whole process today. Skin good? Skin crispy? Very much. And my little one, I know he doesn't like the skin. He doesn't like much of anything, but I think he'll like this turkey. Yeah?
Yeah. This is the best turkey you've ever made, Daddy.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of Meat and Fire. I hope that this helps you maybe have some ideas on how to prepare your Thanksgiving turkey. Any of you that want to put a bird on the smoker this year, hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, and have a good Thanksgiving.